Hello, and welcome back to the Figuring It Out podcast. My name's Dana, and today we have a little bit different of an episode. We have 2 episodes in 1 week. Why is that? It's the Valentine's Day special. And I have a special someone with me today. Instead of Dominique, who is it?
It's me.
It's Ed!
Hello.
Hi, Ed.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing alright.
Good.
You know, just got back from work, so.
So, for this Valentine's Day special, I figured that my lovely man's Ed and I would get together and do a little love language quiz, and I have a few in-depth questions to ask him about love and our relationship and all things revolving around. But to start off, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
What is your opinion on Valentine's Day?
I mean, I think it's nice to have a day where it's like you're reminded to do nice things for your significant other, but you don't. That should be every day.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Even if you don't do it like in person, or if it's not like super personal, it's like something. You know what I mean? Show them that you care every day.
Yeah,
There's no reason to consolidate that for a day.
It's just a glorified Hallmark card.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, you know, your Valentine's Day could be your anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, if that's it, then it's like, I guess it's a double whammy, but...
No, I'm saying like your personal Valentine's Day. Could be like your anniversary or like your birthday.
Yeah, I mean, however you
or like
dictate special days.
The 5th of October. Like, who knows? What, do you have something against the 5th of October?
It's terrible. I hate it. I hate it. Never again. I go straight from 4 to 6.
Honestly, we only love even numbers here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into the love language quiz.
Oh, no.
Oh, my. So I took this quiz earlier, so we can save a little bit of time, and I'm going to be asking you the questions so we can figure out your love language, and then we're going to compare ours, because it's only suiting since we're in a relationship of 2 years and 8 months. Okay, you're a male.
I'd hope so.
25.
Yeah, pretty good.
In a relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean...
No, I don't want emails.
Yeah, please don't.
Okay. Here we go. Love language question number 1.
Ooh.
It's more meaningful to me when I receive a long, loving note, email, text, for no special reason from my loved one, or my partner and I hug.
Oh, probably the hug.
It's more meaningful to me when I can spend alone time with my partner, just the 2 of us, or my partner does something practical to help me out.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, I'm going to say most of the time when a practical thing is helping me and you're doing that to help me, it's basically quality time. So I'd say the practical. Okay.
It's more meaningful to me when my partner gives me a little gift as a token of our love for each other, or I get to spend uninterrupted leisure time with my partner.
Definitely the second one.
The leisure time?
Yeah.
It's more meaningful to me when my partner puts his or her arms around me when we're in public, or my partner surprises me with a gift.
Yeah, the first one.
Public.
Yeah.
It's more meaningful to me when I'm around my partner even when we're not really doing anything, or I hold hands with my partner.
Just being around you.
Sick. Good answer.
Sick. No, I like hands better than your being. Sorry.
Well, good thing I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's more meaningful to me when my partner gives me a gift, or I hear I love you from my partner.
Definitely the second one.
Okay. It's more meaningful to me when I sit close to my partner, or I am complimented by my loved one for no apparent reason.
Yeah, it's still the first one.
Sitting close to your partner?
Yeah.
It's more meaningful to me when my partner tells me I'm proud of you, or my partner helps me with a task.
First one.
It's more meaningful to me when I get to do things with my partner, or I hear supportive words from my partner.
I'm going to say that probably depends on the day.
Like, on average, what would your answer be? Like, on an average day, would you rather get to do things with your partner or hear supportive words?
On an average day, probably the first one.
First one.
Yeah.
It's more meaningful to me when I hear praises from my partner or my partner gives me something that shows he or she was really thinking about me.
Yeah, the second one, that's fine.
It's more meaningful to me when I am able to just be around my partner or I get a back rub or massage from my partner.
The first one. I don't need shit from you.
Alright, jeez. I'm not gonna rub your back anymore.
Whoa.
It's more It's more meaningful to me when my partner reacts positively to something I've accomplished, or my partner does something for me that I know they don't particularly enjoy.
First one.
It's more meaningful to me when my partner works on special projects with me that I have to complete, or my partner gives me an exciting gift.
The first one.
It's more meaningful to me when I'm complimented by my partner on my appearance, or my partner takes time to listen to me and really understands my feelings.
Definitely the second one. That first one's just like so... Like, do you want them to fully understand you, or do you want them to tell you you look good? It just doesn't compare.
My partner and I share non-sexual touch in public, or my partner offers to run errands for me.
Probably the first one still.
My partner does a bit more than his or her normal share of responsibilities we share. Or I get a gift that I know my partner put thought into choosing.
The second one.
It's more meaningful to me when I can look forward to a holiday because of a gift I anticipate receiving, or I hear the words, "I appreciate you," from my partner.
Oh, absolutely the second one.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
My partner brings me a little gift after he or she has been traveling without me, or my partner takes care of something I'm responsible to do, but I feel too stressed to do at the time.
Second one.
My partner doesn't interrupt me while I'm talking, or gift giving is an important part of our relationship.
The first one.
My partner helps me out when he or she knows I'm already tired, or I get to go somewhere while spending time with my partner.
The second one.
My partner and I are physically intimate, or my partner gives me a little gift that he or she has picked up in the course of their normal day.
The first one.
My partner says something encouraging to me, or I get to spend time in shared activity or hobby with my partner.
What was the first one?
My partner says something encouraging to me, or I get to spend time in a shared activity or hobby with my partner.
The second one.
My partner helps me out, especially if I know they're already busy, or I hear my partner specifically tell me, "I appreciate you."
Second one.
My partner and I embrace after we've been apart for a while, or I hear my partner say how much I mean to him or her. It's the last question.
First one.
Okay.
Wow.
Ours are actually kind of different.
Oh my god.
So your number one is quality time. That's both of ours. We both have a 10 in quality time.
Yeah.
And then your second is physical touch. Mm-hmm. Your third is words of affirmation. Mm-hmm. Your fourth is acts of service. And your last is receiving gifts.
Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. I care more about what you're saying to me than the shit you're doing. Like, I don't need you to do things for me. Mm-hmm.
What's funny is our second and fourth are completely switched.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I go quality time, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, receiving gifts.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you said the second and fourth?
Mm-hmm. So you had quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation. Oh, you had quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts. Mm-hmm. And I had quality time, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation.
Okay.
And receiving gifts.
That makes more sense. Yeah, that makes
more sense. So our second, third, and fourth are switched.
Also, I definitely just heard myself go, that make more sense.
That make more sense.
That make more sense. Jane.
But, nice. Good to know.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to interview you.
Oh my god.
A little bit about our relationship.
Holy
Time to get romantic.
Time to get romantic or destroy it.
Only time will tell. Find out at the end of this episode. Alright, first question. What was your initial reaction to meeting me? Or meeting me on our first date?
I don't know. I mean, normally first dates I'm kind of nervous anyway.
I mean, we didn't really have a first date.
Yeah,
You kind of just picked me up when we went for a drive.
Yeah, but like
you did buy me Wendy's.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta buy Wendy's.
Hey man,
is it a date without Wendy? Come on.
I mean, really, you bought Wendy's, and then I wanted a Frosty, and you were just like, okay, I'll buy you a Frosty, and I was like, oh my god, he's buying me a Frosty.
Yeah, that's fine, but no, I don't know. I mean, it was cool. I mean, the main thing was just that you were funny, and most of the other people that I dated really weren't funny.
Oh my god.
And
I'm so honored.
They're really, like, some of them were, like, kind of funny, but it wasn't, it was, like, in a...
They're just not as funny as me.
Okay. No, it was just a different kind of funny. It didn't go as well with how I think of, like, jokes and comedy and all that. And that was honestly the number one thing that I noticed was that. And then, more great things obviously came after that. But,
but like, that was your first initial...
Yeah, that was, like, the first thing was, like...
Like, oh shit, she's funny.
Alright, she's just fucking around. Got you. Okay, I can fuck around with you. Got you. Because that's, honestly, every other girlfriend I've had, I can't, like, I can fuck around a little, but I couldn't, like...
You couldn't, like, fully joke and, like...
Alright, bitch, why don't you fucking take a step back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can't do that.
Okay, dear, can you please take 3 steps in the opposite direction?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you had to tiptoe around it. Like, that's not cool.
What was the biggest adjustment you had to make after we started dating?
I don't know. Probably just... I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, as far as adjustments, it's basically just, like, getting more on time with everything. Like, trying to be more aware of time, I guess. Because in a similar way, like, my deal is, like, I deal with people who, like, are not, I guess... not in a bad way, but not...
They're not exactly time-oriented.
Yeah, most people that I hang out with are like, whatever, like, we can do whatever, whenever. And I'm like, okay. And not even like, it's actually funny, my mom always said that I had that I went after wounded birds, as she put it. So it was like, that was also something that I had to adjust to, was like, whatever your, like, emotional needs were. It's like, I'm good at adjusting to those, but it was like a new wave of it. Yeah. So...
And I also was just an emotional mess when we started dating.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But that's
really in the throes
whatever. I'm like straight faced, cool, like, alright. Yeah. Oh, alright, yeah, you were freaking out, huh? Shit, alright, I gotta say something.
There were so many times when you and I started dating that I had panic attacks literally every time that we hung out.
Yeah, it was
for months.
Yeah.
Months.
Yeah. I just knew that most of the panic attacks were not over anything that was, like, really super substantial, so...
No. Most of the time they started because you ended up falling asleep, and then my mind started going, and then I was just like, oh my god, he's not awake, and I'm freaking out, and then I just freaked out even harder.
Yeah, you just dropped down that hill. You were like, no.
Yeah, and then you woke up to my body, like, convulsing because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
How long did it take for you to be certain you wanted me to be your girlfriend? Because we talked for like a month or so before you fully asked me to be your girlfriend.
I mean, that's pretty much...
Yeah. What was the thing that like solidified that, like, you're like, I want her to be my girlfriend?
I don't know if it was necessarily like a specific thing. As far as with me, it's like, if I can stand to see you a lot. Yeah. Like, a lot over a month's period.
Which we did. We hung out a lot.
Yeah, we hung out a lot. If it's, like, been a month and I'm like, oh, okay, like, yeah, they're not annoying the fuck out of me. Like, we joke around, we have a good time, like, most of the time. It's never, like, negative energy for no reason. So, it was pretty much just that. It was like, it worked out well, we clicked, and it just... Like, that's really the basis for me and most people, is like, can I stand seeing you a lot? Yes? Alright, cool, we can be close. Yeah. As soon as it's like that, because within a month you'll know if the person's going to annoy the fuck out of you. And you don't at all. Even though when you think you're going to be annoying, you're really not.
You're so sweet. Okay. when you met my mother for the first time, did some of the missing pieces click as to why I am who I am?
Yeah, your mom's bad shit.
True.
Yeah.
What were, like, some of the things that, like... What are some of the things that, like, am that you see in her?
There's things you do now, even just the way that you say certain things. I'm like...
Okay, Danny.
Alright. Okay, I see what you're doing. Honestly, a lot of the things were, like, I guess, like, irrational, like, fears and shit. Like, over time... Like, meeting your mom was like, oh, okay, I get how she got these kind of feelings and these kind of fears about these things. And then as that unfolded more, it was like, oh, yeah, that's exactly where it came from. Okay.
Yeah. Even today, I was at my mom's house, and her and I were having kind of a heart-to-heart, and she was like, you know, you need to practice selfishness, you know, in this situation. Yeah. And then I looked up at her, and I was like, you raised me. I don't know how to be selfish.
Yeah, exactly.
And she was like, well, I was in a place where other people were walking all over me, and I was like, you raised me. I learned from you.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright. What is one thing you've grown to love about me that you didn't when we got together?
I don't know. I don't know if that's...
Or, like, one thing that you, like, had to really adjust to about me.
Probably just how, like, particular you are about...
Everything.
Yeah, everything. Like, you constantly need to... You try to fill your day with, like, as much shit to be done as you can. Mm-hmm. And you feel stressed if you don't. Yeah. But, like, that's a good thing for me to be around a lot. Yeah. So initially it was like, whoa, this is not something I am used to at all. Like, slow down. And granted, I've gotten you to slow down a little bit. Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I had to get used to your time management.
Yeah, bro. I'm a fucking turtle.
Big time.
Yeah, exactly.
It took me about a year.
Yeah, probably. That sounds about right. Yeah. So it's just like, it was a lot. And then I was like, that's probably good for me to be around. It'll probably make me want to do things more. Okay. And it's just kind of like, I just came to terms with it. And I realized it was a more beneficial thing for both of us because we counterbalance. Like, I help you, like, pull back a little. Like, you don't need to fill every second of every day. Like, you'll be okay. Yeah. You don't have to stress about it. And then I don't stress about anything. And you're like, no, you need to stress about some shit. Please.
Yeah. But even still, like, I still stress over every little detail about everything. Mm-hmm. I just don't make it as known.
Yeah, you're better at keeping your composure about it.
Definitely.
Which is, yeah. I'd like to say I helped with that, for sure. Somewhat.
Do you have anything that you loved about me when we first started dating that, like, kind of annoys you now? Or, like, just, like, gets you sometimes?
Yeah, you know that one? No. No? No, I don't think so. Nothing that I can think of right now. I mean, in the future, I guess I'll let you know. Just one day be like, yeah, I love this shit. No, it annoys the fuck out of me. You don't have to do it again.
Hey, man, they say that happens. Whatever attracts you makes you break up in the end.
But I'm never going to go, like, don't do that. Like, I'll be like, hey, that kind of annoys me. I'll get over it. Like,
yeah. As long as you bring it up to me so I'm aware
it's never,
what's going on.
Yeah, honestly, I even then I probably won't if it's something, unless it's something that you're doing, like, very specifically, like, all of the time. Yeah. I'm just going to be like, that's just something she does, and, like, it annoys me sometimes, but I'm not going to tell her not to be her and do whatever, you know. Yeah. You go through your own mental processes, so I'm going to let you flesh that out.
You're such a sweetheart. What attracted you to me? Besides looks.
Sorry. Okay. I think kind of. We already kind of went over that with the earlier question. It's like it was literally just like the main thing was just that you were funny, and it's like most girls that are like funny or think that they're funny are really fucking annoying about it, and they do that kind of like I don't know, they do that like they're like preppy girl or like girl bashing kind of like, I'm funny, but like it's at someone else's expense. And it's like, you just kind of make light of the situation because you're like, well, I guess I'm fucked out. Going down with the ship, this is great.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, you just made light of situations. And it's like, even if you were stressing, you still kind of did that. So.
Yeah, it's self-deprecation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I do. It's great.
Yes,
Self-deprecate.
You taught me so well.
Self-deprecation mixed with, what is the word? I can't think of the word.
I don't know. I don't know what the...
Self-inflection.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them. It's like the same thing. That's why I self-deprecate. So if I do a shitty thing, I go like, aha, yeah, I do shitty things. Like, I do X, Y, Z. And then I go like, why do I do that? Mm-hmm. And I think that helps both of us to kind of go like, what do we need to work on? Well, what's the thing I'm joking about most? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that thing.
Yeah, and like what... Do any of your jokes like make me uncomfortable or anything like that?
Exactly.
So, since I said I love you first.
Okay.
What went through your head the night that I said I love you, since it was an accident?
I mean...
Before you answer, I want to just give like a rundown of what happened that night.
Sure, go for it.
So, okay, me and Ed have been together for 2 years and 8 months. We weren't even together officially a month before I said I love you. And it was... I even remember the date. It was June 21st, 2016. It was the day after my high school graduation.
Okay.
And he... Come on, dates. He was dropping me off after a double date that we had. And we were, like, just talking in his car. And then I had made a joke. And it seemed like I had insulted him the way that I said the joke, and then I was just like, oh my god, no, I'm sorry, I love you. And then I went, oh no. I immediately bolted out of the car. And then as I was shutting the door, I shut the door with my left hand and then shut my ring finger in his door.
Smashed it. Not just shut, like slammed the door.
Smashing my finger.
Yeah.
And I'm certain that I broke my finger that day.
Sure. You just never got to look that at it.
No, I just, eventually I was able to bend it, and it got to a point where it healed and I could crack it, and then the first time I cracked it, I was like, but it's fine.
You're going to have arthritis in that knuckle, but...
More than likely. Yeah. I can, like, already feel it right at, like, the top of the knuckle.
Your knuckles just get wider, and you're like, what is that? Yeah.
Okay, but, so what went through your head when I said I love you?
Well, it was kind of like, you said it by accident, so that means that you were definitely, like, already thinking it regardless. Like, you were already thinking about it regardless.
I had told girls in my culinary class that I was scared that I was going to accidentally say it to you, because I had been in love with you since the first day I met you, which was, like, 6 months prior to this. Yeah.
Still maintain a little creepy, but still reasonable. It's fine. It's not, you weren't, like, creepy about it. It's just a weird thing to be like, I loved you since I saw you.
Love at first sight.
Yeah, of course. But, I mean, still.
But, no, I had told, like, a couple days prior, I had told girls in my culinary class that I was like, guys, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to tell Ed that I love him. I feel like I'm going to accidentally say it. And, like, I was like, I almost said it the other day, but, like, I stopped myself and, like, all this stuff. And they were just like, no, you're fine. Like, it's going to be okay. And then, like, 2 days later, it happened. And I was just like, no!
It's okay. Honestly, the first thing I thought when you said it, it was, like, a relief. Because, really? Yeah, because... every relationship prior to that, I was the person who said it first. I, like, fell, you know what I mean? Like, went too hard into it, and I said it too early, or I said it, like, whatever. And it's not that they didn't say it back. It was, like, I was the, like, initiator there. Yeah, so you knew that I meant it. Yeah, and I think that was what led into a lot of those relationships not working out, was because I jumped into them, and I was like, all right, this is serious now. Like, we're going. So I was literally, like, I was planning to hold out on, like, as long as I could until you said it, and then go, like, okay, like, it's reciprocated, like, it's not me doing this. Yeah. And then it happened, and I was like, oh, okay, like, cool, this is great, I feel good now, this is awesome. And you slammed your finger in the door, and I was like, oh, sorry.
I didn't give you a chance to say it back. I was just like, I need to get out of here as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. And I did say it, though.
You did.
Yeah, but was it after you slammed your finger in the door?
It was after I slammed my finger in the door.
Like, rolled the window down?
No, I opened the door again to get my finger out.
Yeah, of course.
And you went, oh my god, what did you do? And I went, I slammed my finger. And then you pulled my hand in, you kissed my finger. And then you went, okay, go in and ice it. And I was like, okay. And you were like, I'll text you when I'm home. And I was like, okay. And then as I was shutting the door, like mid-swing, you went, I love you. As soon as you finished, I love you, the door shut. And then, I don't know if you saw this, but I bent down to the window and pointed at you. And I went, oh my god!
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I got to my door. I opened the door, everything was fine. As soon as I shut my front door, I started sobbing. Not because I had broken my finger, but also because the love of my life just told me that he loves me. And I accidentally told him that I love him. So it was just a whole shit ton of emotions.
Yeah.
I woke up my dad because I was rummaging through the freezer trying to find an ice pack while crying and being like, oh my god, what is happening? And so he comes out and he's like, what's going on? And I was like, I slammed my finger in Ed's car door, and he was just like, okay, here's an ice pack, go down.
You'll be fine.
And I was just like, okay. And then I remember I texted Dominique, and I was like, Dominique, I just accidentally told Ed that I love him, and I just broke my finger. And she's like, you did what? You broke what?
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I remember telling my mom about it, and she's like, well, you know, your left hand, your ring finger, your wedding finger, that's good luck. And before she even said that, like, I found it ironic that it was my left hand, my ring finger. And I was like, well, he better fucking marry me if this is how it's starting.
I'm gonna have to get, like, an extra large ring.
Hey.
For that knuckle.
Hey.
Just to make sure it stays.
So far, my knuckle is normal size.
Yeah.
So I just need a 5.5 or a 6. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
We'll see.
Okay, one of the last questions.
Sure.
Based off of your dating past to now, what is the most important thing you've learned about maintaining a healthy relationship?
I mean, linking back to the love language thing, it's like you can't dictate what that person needs or how to treat them based on anything for you. Mm-hmm. It's like you just have to communicate. Like, you have to be honest, you have to communicate. And
You have to be attentive.
yeah, and it's like, every new person I meet, let alone relationship-wise, it's like, I give them my full trust, and as soon as they do something to tarnish that, then it's like, oh, okay, now we have an issue. But if we're honest and we're communicating, that should never be an issue. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
And it's just like, okay, well, what do you need? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is what I need. Mm-hmm. And if you communicate that, then it's like, why wouldn't? Also, don't try to change people, okay? Don't try to make people what you want them to be. That's not helpful for anybody. It's just going to make it, like, way, way more stressful for everybody. Yeah, just be open and honest, and as long as that happens, like, you should be fine.
I agree with that. I think communication is definitely, like, they always say communication's key, but, like, communication is the most important part of a relationship.
It is the key, whether it be romantic or not.
Yeah, if you guys don't talk about your feelings and your thoughts about the situation at hand and what's going on in the world of whatever relationship it is, you're never going to get anywhere successful with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you have any questions for me, Edward?
Oh my god.
Any Valentine's Day questions?
What do you want?
I just want your love and affection. I want love and affection. What is the most memorable date that we've had to you?
Ooh, I wouldn't say that it was necessarily one date, but probably the
Sunflowers?
yeah, the Sunflower Festival.
I was just going to say that.
we went and we stayed up there for like a couple of days. It was just us.
Yeah, it was our first ever weekend trip.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's probably the one that I remember most, like, distinctly. So it was probably that. It was just like having like, okay, it's just us for like an entire weekend. We're in a different state. Like, it was like one small taste of traveling. You know what I mean?
It was a small taste of living together too. Yeah. Honestly, sharing such a small space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would have to say my most memorable time is either that or, for some reason, Sterling Hill Mine.
Going into the fucking mines.
Yeah, that tour and that day was just like really memorable to me, and I think about it always. It's just funny.
Okay.
It was a good time. We cracked a lot of jokes.
Yeah, that was pretty much the whole day. Was just us like grilling people.
Yes.
They don't know, but we're like, holy shit, look at that.
And then me trying to. Okay, final question before we round this up.
Oh no.
Do you have any relationship advice for the listeners?
No, I mean, pretty much just stick to what we just talked about. Like, it doesn't matter what your differences are, regardless of what they are. You know what I mean? Whether it be, like, religious or what you believe. Otherwise, it's like you can always come to some type of understanding. And even if you don't agree with the other person, it's like if you appreciate them for what they are, then they're going to reciprocate that. I mean, unless they're, like, some weird control freak kind of person, then they're going to be like, good, I have them on my side. You know? But, you know, just be honest, communicate, and just try to appreciate them for what they are. You know what I mean? And help them get to who they want to be.
Yeah, help them meet their needs.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is.
As long as they're helping you meet yours.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they decide to do, just support them in that. I mean, offer your criticism and offer your advice and what you think of the situation, but if they don't take that, you can't hold them accountable for that. Like,
of course,
it's their decision. Like, they can only take your advice so far.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very thoughtful.
Thank you.
Thought-provoking.
Ooh.
I think I would say definitely communication, and if you're in a rocky part of your relationship, I think it is a good idea to take a minute and stop and look at how your relationship started and how it got to where it is today and what changed.
Yeah, there's always a turning point for bad relationships.
Of course.
And rocky starts.
Because like sometimes people just stop choosing the other person and they start choosing whatever's going on in their life, even though they're still together.
Yeah.
And I think you should always make it a point to every day choose your partner and make sure that you're as much taking care of yourself as you are taking care of them.
Yeah, I mean, because if you do that, they're going to reciprocate. So
exactly.
You're both 100% taken care of.
Exactly.
Yeah. That makes sense.
You gotta give some care and some TLC to...
As with anything else, you get
your
what you
loves.
Put out.
Yeah.
So, it'll always come back to you.
Life is a give and take.
There
you go.
Yeah, exactly. The more you give, the more you get to take from them bitches. Yeah!
Oh my god. Can't. Are we doing anything for Valentine's Day, Edward? Because this is being recorded before Valentine's Day, but you're listening to this on Valentine's Day.
Which day is Valentine's Day?
It's a Thursday.
The
14th.
Was that next Thursday?
Yes.
I mean, usually I'm off Thursday. Actually, I am off Thursday. Got the schedule.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want, we can do something.
Alright, plan something.
You don't have to.
Plan something.
Okay.
Okay.
Plan something.
Plan
wow,
something.
Demanding. Right.
Alright. Do you have any other final thoughts before we finish off this week's podcast?
Random thought off the top of my head, I would say, zip zop, bibbity boop bop, don't buy overpriced chocolate.
Buy it the day after Valentine's Day so it's 70% off.
Agreed.
Edward, where can they find you on social media?
I am on Instagram. It is TGY_the Great Yeeter. YETTER. That's on Instagram. On Twitter, I am Iris Picked Clean. One word.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have other ones? I don't think I do.
SoundCloud.
Oh, shit. I am not on it. Thank you. You can find us on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/B_N_E.
There we go.
Thank you. I would have completely forgot to plug my music career. That's
You're
totally...
so welcome.
Yeah, great job.
Huge part of who you are.
ADD at work. Going to a doctor.
There we go. Making moves.
Making moves.
And you guys can find me on social media at DanaRenee_ on Twitter and DanaRenee_ on Instagram. That's DANARENEE_ and DANARENEE___.
Ooh.
And we will see you guys. Well, he won't see you guys next week. But I will. With Dominique.
Nice.
And I think maybe a special guest? I don't remember if that's that episode.
We'll find out.
I love you. And I love you.
Love you too.
That's it. Happy Valentine's Day!